antisocial network.
Yeah. Mask up, stay 6 feet apart.
Yeah, right.
Welcome once again to YUH with Lisa, Phil, and Aaron from California. His arms must be tired. Hi, Aaron. Hi,
Good
Dan.
morning.
This week
Hello.
we are talking to Dan Bugbee. He has authored two short stories, or two books. One
He's authored
is
more than
an
that.
anthology of short stories, and the other is kind of a novella. Now, the novella is called Roadkill King, and the short story anthology is called Father Figure. So, Dan, why don't you tell us a little bit about your books and what inspired you?
Okay, well, Roadkill King was originally going to be part of my Cabin 187 series, and the story was inspired by my commute to work because we have this highway where there's almost constantly roadkill by the road, even in the wintertime. So I got the idea for Roadkill King, like, what if somebody's doing this on purpose, hurting these animals on purpose? So that's where that story got its birth.
Okay.
And the collection is Father Figure. And what I did with that one is I took things that my father would say or do, and I would give them a horror twist. For instance, well, the first story in there is, let's see, I think it's the letter. It's a letter that I wrote to my dad and read to him at his gravesite. And it actually, I actually did write that letter. The majority of that story is that letter, but with a little bit of story thrown in to make it a little bit more interesting. And Bedside Regret, which ends the collection, is also based off of something that actually happened in my life, which where my dad asked me on his deathbed if I was gay, and I bold-faced lied to him at that time, and I regretted it ever since. So this was my catharticism. I don't know if that's the right word or not.
Right.
But this was my way of coping.
Redemption.
My what?
Redemption, maybe?
Yeah, redemption.
I had a hangnail there.
Well, and then the others are just stories that I would take something that he would do or say and just really give him a good horror twist.
Okay.
Well, I firmly believe that those who have passed before us do not harbor negative feelings. I don't. I mean, I know I constantly find dimes everywhere, and I know for a fact that's my dad.
Yeah.
I also think he's the one who hides my stuff sometimes. Although that could be my mother or my grandmother. Either of them could be the one because they were all kind of prankstery. So,
I'd love it if he made some of that bang bang shrimp like he used to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He could do the bang bang shrimp recipe. It was better.
What is bang bang shrimp?
It's a
take panko.
Asks the vegan.
Go ahead.
Right. You take this panko
breading,
and then there's a Cajun sauce that you kind of drench it in over.
It's called bang bang sauce. It's very specific, and you have to get the correct version, and the correct sauce is made at what's the name of the restaurant? Bonefish Grill. Yes. And the Bonefish Grill originated it or perfected it. I don't know which is true. But my dad made it better than Bonefish. And that's the only... We've tried it other places. It's got different names everywhere. It's never as good as either Bonefish or my dad's. Bonefish comes
it's
close.
breaded and spiced. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That would have been a
Breaded
short
and-
answer.
That's where I've heard that before then, because we used to have a bonefish grill around here. I don't know if it's still in business or not, though.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the one in Hyde Park is still there.
We're getting all that background
Mhm.
on the father figure, the collection of short stories. That's interesting because it it gives us a little bit more background on where the stories come from.
Right. It's
they're personal.
very very semi autobiographical.
Yeah.
It's like you put yourself in there and then you amended it to make it more of a story, which
Yeah.
I think that it I like the poignancy of the personal touch, and I especially like the way you bookended the anthology with the the letter and the redemption, because
Yeah.
both felt like quests for forgiveness.
And that's
And
what they were.
hopefully you felt that redemption
Yeah.
in yourself. Like a,
You were really put on the spot, though.
But,
oh, yeah.
On the deathbed
Right.
situation.
I mean, you were a teenager. You really were not ready. And it's not, maybe if no one else had been in the room, you could have admitted it to your father knowing that he was going to pass.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know what all did go into that, Dan. How was that?
Right.
What was that like?
Well,
Being put on the spot.
it's pretty much like how she described. It's he had been, since he was close to passing, he had been talking to people that weren't there, which is fairly common.
Yeah.
He'd been doing that quite a bit. He'd been reliving and things that
Watching his
happened
life.
and things that didn't happen. He'd been delusional and talk, as well as talking to people that had passed long before he did, like his mom or someone like that. And my mom and my sister were in the room. I came in and my mom left, but my sister stayed there. And that's when he asked me, and I just, it's like you said, I wasn't prepared to answer the question.
Right.
So I told him what I thought he wanted to hear.
Right.
And it seemed to relax him, but at the same time, he didn't seem to buy it.
He probably, I mean, most people have a sense, especially if someone close to them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we truly get a sense that maybe those who've passed on can see or can relate to what we're doing now? Like sometimes that'll keep you in check. Sometimes you'll be like, what would my dad think if he saw me doing this? What or how would he behave, or how would he react to a problem right now? So I'm guessing there was a sense of he's getting this message now.
Yeah.
When you're writing this.
Yeah. Once it was published, I also spent a couple of days and actually reading it to him on his graveside.
Nice.
So
yeah,
that's nice. I like that. I mean, my parents are in the in vessels in the house. They both chose Freemason, and so they're both here in our house.
Yeah.
And so I don't really have to go far to visit their grave sites. But yeah, we used to have something in my hometown, my parents, my ancestral hometown, called Dinner on the Ground. And it was basically very similar to Dia de Muerte, where you go to, I don't know if I pronounced that perfectly. Terribly sorry if I didn't do it well enough. But that's where you would go, and on Memorial Day, we would go to the graves, to the graveyard, and we would have a picnic at the graveyard. And you would bury like I don't know, like a chicken leg or a favorite dish, one of your, your ancestors, and food. And you would bury a little bit or a chicken, leg or something like that to kind of honor them.
Yeah.
But we should say in your preface, you did say that, you really, it hadn't always been the case, but you would come to terms with your relationship with your father, and that you really loved him, and that you really understood that some of the values that he instilled in you.
Definitely.
And that the book, after all, it's a horror story. So it's not, the father figures in the stories are not to be extrapolated to be autobiographical of biographical of your father's life or anything. They were just kind of loose outlines.
Yeah, that's why I put that in the preface too, because I didn't want people to read this and think that my dad was a horrible human being, because he wasn't.
Yeah.
He was older. He was older when when I was born. He was 50. Mm-hmm. So by the time he was retiring, by the time he retired at 62, I was 12. So I was going through my difficult teenage years. I could have used different words, but I wasn't sure how
use any words you want.
You guys wanted to be.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, use any word you want. We're on the anti-social network.
Okay. But I was going through my difficult teenage years, and with him being retired and me being on summer break, we clashed quite a bit, quite often. So.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's normal. The problem is you didn't get to your 20s where you develop that relationship with your parents. And then you kind of like, whether you say it or not, you forgive each other for that time.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. I know that personally, that's what happened with me. I don't know, Phil. I can't speak to Philip and Aaron's situations, and my mom and I never discussed some of the issues that I had with her, but whether she asked for it or not, I forgave her for some of the stuff that I resented.
I saw some dark shit. I mean, I'm sure we've all seen some dark stuff, whether it's with your siblings or you personally, or the relationship between your dad and your mom, most people have seen that, but I feel like what I saw were just fairly common.
Well, and I know that for Philip and I, both of us were in our teens when our parents were retiring. We both had older parents, not as old as yours, but we both had older parents. And then for Philip, most of his siblings were 9, 12, and 14 when he was born. So in that respect, he can relate to you because you have much older siblings.
Yeah.
I do not. Well, I do have a brother who was 5 years older than me, but I don't think that quite counts. Although he was raised so differently because my mother was single raising him, whereas I had the two parents.
Yeah.
So
I'm now the age where my father passed.
Oh, wow.
So he never retired.
Wow, he must have passed very young then.
He was 56.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, my mom was 57 when she passed, so I'm a year older than she was.
I didn't realize John was that young, Aaron.
Yeah.
I thought he hit 60.
So how old were you when he passed, Aaron?
31.
Okay. I was 30 when my mom died.
All right, Dan. So let's talk a little bit. That's kind of heavy. We've been kind of heavy so far.
Yeah. Let's talk about. Lighten it up. Let's talk about horror.
The horror, yeah. Where's that come from? Where's that?
It is actually a little light horror as far as that.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. Yeah. I would say it was like they're like nightmares. What was unfolding in these stories.
So we're starting with father figure.
Some of them are just like weird hallucinations, kind of too.
Yeah.
The plant
I
one is pretty
that.
trippy.
I liked the ones that are more
The blood
specific.
rose.
Oh, sorry, Aaron. Go ahead.
I said the plant one was pretty trippy, and then I remembered the title, and I said the blood rose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, what was that? Here, let me look. I'll remember it once I see the title.
That's is that like Father Like Son or
Like Father Like Son?
Blood Rose.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun story. I should have probably made that a much longer and developed things a little better. But you know,
I felt like it felt complete to me. I mean, I can see how you could expand it.
Yeah, you can make it bigger. It's not incomplete.
Right, absolutely. But it felt complete enough for me. It had a satisfying beginning, middle, and conclusion. And I got the story, you know. I mean, and it's hard to say. I'm sorry, go ahead, Aaron.
I was curious if that only worked if they had to be related, the people that were linked by the thorns or whatever.
Honestly, I didn't give that any thought, but
coincidentally they were each time.
That's an interesting concept because the grandmother was related to the granddaughter, and
exactly.
Of course, father and son. Or no, that was piggyback. That was piggyback, not like father like son.
That's the name of it. Piggyback. Oh, okay. Makes sense.
That's interesting how, as the writer, you know, some people might think you're unfolding the entire story, but really you're just kind of opening the door to a world, and then the reader's imagination can draw conclusions from the actions and thoughts of the characters. So
that story for me was the only one that was something of an outlier. It stood out for that reason, because the others were all more, they felt more personal, more almost actual, autobiographical, whereas that one was pure imagination.
Yeah.
Is that pretty?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because it's father and son. But
it fits with the theme, but it is a little bit less autobiographical is all.
Right.
Yeah, that was a complete work of fiction.
I would hope so.
I would hope so. Yeah. Trigger warning.
But I mean, one assumes that the boy is going to end up having a partial amputation to survive, and he's also going to be part plant, you know, like the girl. So the question is where it expands is like, do they create a whole community of the people who deal with this situation? Right. You know, is it like a circus situation where everybody lives together?
Do they take over the planet?
It would be fun. It would be fun to further explore the blood rose and its history.
Yeah. And what happens if they don't catch it too soon? Do they actually combine and become like a tree or a rose bush? Is that where the blood rose comes from?
Interesting.
There you go.
It's an idea.
Evolving. So you can always take that.
Yeah.
Aren't there free. Like didn't Dickens Great Expectations start as like short stories or something in a journal, or I seem to recall something like that from my Norwood High School education.
Great Expectations, I think, was like a serial newspaper type thing. Yeah.
So you can go back. You can go back to your work, and you can build on it. And, you've got a germ of an idea. You can.
A lot of science fiction and horror started in those like magazines that you could get, the anthology magazines like Asimov and Science
Amazing
Fiction
Tales.
Amazing Tales, and they would submit short stories, and some of them would be serials, and eventually those became like, I believe that is how Foundation originally started.
Mm-hmm. Stephen King got his start too, was submitting to magazines like that.
Vonnegut too.
Yep.
And I seem, when I was researching for the podcast, I seem to recall reading that you have some work that's been part of anthologies of other writers, collaborative work.
Yeah, I do. I've contributed to at least 7 anthologies.
Okay.
Nice.
In fact, one just came out this month called Nightmerica.
Nightmare.
And it's based on, its theme is the American dream gone wrong.
Oh my God, that's perfect for our other podcast, Nightmerica. Maybe that's what we should rebrand as. No, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay. So,
Okay.
Can't
but that's
steal
a
his
perfect-
thing, Phil.
Well, you
Yeah.
know, you gotta do a little Robin Williams move there, maybe.
It's what is it? Let's just go with imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
We already have a name.
Yes, political cadence. Let's. We're not supposed to mention it. Shh.
Oh well, no. Well, we should mention that we're on the antisocial network. Though,
yes,
right?
We are in the antisocial network, and political cadence is not.
Right.
Right. We keep that separate.
But you're welcome onto that sometime too, Dan.
Absolutely.
Of course, but if you want to,
Definitely. I already like the name of it, so.
Yeah.
Cool.
I wanted to say that every time I read something, I'm always finding grammatical errors and typos. In 2 books, I found one single typo, and it was just a name. It was Caleb was Khalid in one of the. But I wanted to say it's all very well written, and it must have been gone over many, many times by either editors or yourself or proofreaders. But it's top notch.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And everybody's going to find typos. I mean, you can read a Stephen King novel and still find typos.
I've got a weird thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would say, yep, typo, and I keep going. It doesn't matter who the author is.
Yeah.
But
Aaron's
they always
a programmer,
stand out.
so.
Yeah. It's like
Aaron's
finding a bug.
brain looks for that more. I feel like your brain is built for that.
But not just typos. Everything made sense and was structured correctly and was well done.
I appreciate that.
That leads to the question: do you have, or do you do?
We need to talk about Roadkill too.
Right. But do you do audiobooks?
I only have Roadkill King on audiobook because they're incredibly expensive, and the return on investment isn't there. At least it's not been for me so far.
Okay.
Would you be? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to have a friend do a father figure for me, but I don't know if I want to invest the money in it right now because Roadkill King audiobook just hasn't done well.
Okay, that's interesting.
Sometimes you need to build an audience. And sometimes, who read Roadkill King?
Huh?
Did you read
it? Who read it?
A guy by the name of Jason. He wasn't well known.
Okay. Jason Momoa.
No, Jason Momoa is
my
well
friend
known.
My friend that offered to do father figure isn't known either, but he's always wanted to do voice acting and narration and stuff like that. So
so does Lisa, I think.
Yeah, that's what we were kind of.
That's what she was angling at right there.
Yes, thank you, Aaron.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Well, I have plenty of projects in the works, so.
Okay. I would do it gratis because I want experience. And if you didn't like my work for some reason, just say so. I'm open to critiques because I'm still not going to retire for 3 more years. Is it 50? No, 4 more years. So I want to do some practice in the meantime before I go pro.
Yeah.
And what I'll do is Philip's going to find it. I wrote and read a story that I wrote and read. Oh, let's repeat that. But he's going to send you the sample.
Okay.
Everything. It's sort of a horror story, sort of not.
Yeah.
but it's fiction.
It's interesting. It's interesting.
Wink.
It's really good. It's good. I really liked it. And if you need if you got any characters that are like, sexy femme fatales, Lisa's your woman for the
Aw,
job. So
thank you, honey.
she can nail that. So
yeah, I can do sexy, and I can do I don't know, Snow White.
Yeah.
All
right. So here's my big segue. We mentioned Dickens before. With Roadkill King, I'm thinking Ebenezer Scrooge.
Really?
Ebenezer Scrooge meets what was that movie with one of the characters? Death Race 2000.
Death Race 2000. Right. Mm-hmm. So
good idea. Okay. Mind you, he is visited after, so he doesn't get the redemption from the Ebenezer Scrooge part.
What was that other movie, Death Proof? Where
the Tarantino.
Yeah.
Was that Tarantino or Rodriguez?
That was Tarantino.
They both
Rodriguez
did half.
was the wasn't it, or the car part was Tarantino.
Yeah. Okay. Kurt Russell was really good in that because typically he's like a empathetic character. He's a good guy, but in this one he was a real dick.
Yeah.
So he showed some
we do want some light.
He showed some
there we are. That's better.
Okay. Latitude in that. But anyway, I enjoyed Roadkill King quite a bit. Why don't you kind of outline the plot for us, Dan?
Well, the Roadkill King, it starts off with a guy named Tatum, and he has a bad breakup with his veterinarian girlfriend, and it basically makes his mind snap. And since he doesn't like animals, and she obviously does, she gives him an ultimatum. You get something alive that you like,
that you have to take care of.
That you have to take care of. Because Tatum is a mechanic. He's a grease monkey, a motorhead. He's all about the cars. Mm-hmm. He doesn't care. He doesn't give two shits and a fuck about animals. Mm-hmm. And that's when he gets himself into trouble. Mm-hmm. Sorry, he decides that he's going to alter this car of his specifically for the thrill of hunting by running these animals down. And he alters everything. He puts armor on the car. He puts a shatterproof windshield in, cages over the windows. I mean, it might as well have been in a demolition derby. He put so much armor on there.
It takes out the airbags.
And took out all the safety equipment, which would have gotten him in trouble if he ever got pulled over.
Right.
So one night, he finds this buck in the road, and well, he has
there's some poetic justice,
an experience with this buck, and he's not exactly sure what's going on.
Right.
So by the time the story ends, he's found irredeemable, and the animals that he injured and killed all come back to haunt him.
And that was very nightmarish, I would say. Mm-hmm. So this is your opportunity. Do you want to identify who you modeled this character after by name?
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, I didn't model him off of anybody. He was completely
pure fiction. Yeah, this was modeled after the roadkill he saw, right?
Yeah.
I felt like had he not had the deer experience, that he would have moved to humans. That was coming.
He was fantasizing about that, right?
Right. It's similar to it just serial killers have a tendency to move upwards. And the lack of empathy towards living things, especially once Jennifer leaves him, is compounded. And it's the incident with the family dog that starts.
I was about to say, if you can hit a golden retriever and not have any empathy, then there's something up with you.
You can kill anything with and especially because his weapon of choice is the car.
Right.
Yeah.
And the little boy was a poignant touch. He was crying. He was, representing the concern, the reader's empathy, I guess.
Right.
Sort of the audience.
Yeah.
But we've all known or seen, maybe, hopefully not all, but I know there was this one kid in my neighborhood that I don't know. I could easily see this kid, putting firecrackers up a cat's butt or setting animals on fire just to see them burn.
Yeah.
And I mean, every kid has gone the magnifying glass on the ants, that kind of thing. Almost a lot of children have. Yeah. And not, children have less connection to their empathy. But most of them outgrow it. Yeah. Then you have sociopaths, psychopaths, and serial killers.
Right.
Yeah. When I made Tatum up, I saw him pretty much as a psychopath. And when I was writing the story, I was wondering whether he was going to graduate to larger prey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron
one night the deer in the headlights would have been a human.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to name names.
I don't think he was going to aim for it in the middle of town initially, but I think had the opportunity come up, he definitely would have,
I mean, you do come across these people in life. I was joking before about the name and everything, but you do come across these people in life that you wonder, what is really behind those eyes, and you see glimpses of it sometimes when you're a kid, and kids are less governed by their, mature. They're not mature. Their emotions get the best of them.
Their ego and their id hasn't developed enough to fully restrain their impulses.
But Aaron made a Facebook friend. I noticed it on his list one time. It was a guy we went to school with. I'm not going to name his name, but this guy, he was this kid. I shouldn't call him a guy because he was a kid at the time, but I had a friend named Ken. Aaron knows that. And Ken was like hanging out with this kid. And this, I don't know, it was weird. The kid got like jealous or something, like playmates do when they're kids, And so we were in art class, and one day he took a pin and stuck it on the tip of his shoe, and he sat across from me, right? He started kicking me in the shins with this needle. There was blood coming down my leg, and it's like that's the type of behavior that you see that you wonder.
Concerning
that's
behavior.
Kind of percolating to the top of a really dark person.
Right. He leaves the douchebaggiest comments too on things.
Yeah. But it's like, it's probably a result of his getting back to his parenting. He probably, his father's probably kind of a shitbag too.
Maybe sometimes.
There's a different kid we went to school with that I was walking down to Millcrest Park from my house, and he had just thrown a cat from the train trestle.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see the stuff when you're.
Yeah. How old would you say he was?
14, 15.
See, that's. Yeah, if it happens at 10, but at 14, that's an asshole for life.
Yeah.
Never going to be better.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, some of these people are actually in charge of the government now. So.
I was thinking Stephen Miller would be a roadkill king.
Yeah, right. I don't know how I guess I was just not very politically conscious during the first administration, but I didn't know who this guy was until I saw him, and then recently within the last since the second coming here,
and
Stephen Miller.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, this guy is like an impressionist painting of a
of a ghoul.
vampire or something. He's just a ghoul. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scary time right now.
It is.
Yeah. Not even to get to the.
I guess we should leave that for political cages.
Yeah. All right. Well, so yeah, I could see Roadkill King both as a feature movie. I think people would get maybe fatigued by the evilness of the character after a while. No redeeming qualities.
Some people would. Other people would eat it up.
Some people might eat it up. Yeah, you're right.
Who knows? Maybe the guy would adopt a rat, and in the end, get redemption from actually giving about the rat.
But definitely, it's part of like maybe an anthology TV series.
There's 1,000 directions you could go with that, though.
There is. Yeah. But it was. I admire.
I like the short story version the way it is.
Yeah.
I like the ending.
Yeah. But I think that good writing kind of evokes these thoughts of like who would you want to play the main character? How would that look? If you have animals that are able to speak, how is that done? Is it with CGI or is it with
people for CGI or AI?
There's a ghost.
Sock puppet.
Look out, Dan! There's a ghost.
Yeah,
behind you.
The man in purple.
Yeah.
That's my husband.
Hi, hubby.
He has a name, I assume.
Yeah, his name's Brian.
Brian. Okay. Hey, Brian.
I read it in the book.
All right. So yeah, I mean, I admire your. You must really love. You really. It's obvious that you really love writing. There was a time when I really loved writing, and now.
Hi, Brian.
It's.
Hello.
It's just not my niche anymore. This is talking to people, but
yeah.
Well, your niche evolved. It evolved into something different.
Yeah, absolutely.
It evolved to fit your lifestyle and free time, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe after you retire, now it's going to be, I guess, 70.
Well,
you can start writing again.
I'm vain enough where I kept a lot of my old writing. And when I look at it now, I realize I was a dumb kid with no life experience. And this was all really based on shit I saw in movies. And
he has admitted that during his high school writing, he kept a thesaurus right next to him. So
I did get into a bad habit of
better
using
words.
A thesaurus.
Yeah.
I went to a phase where it was like, a minimum of words is always the best. And so then I look at it and it's all anyway.
Yeah.
What is your process? I mean, how did you
evolve?
Did you start doing journals? Did you keep journals, or was it a teacher or an English teacher or something, or what triggered you?
Well, I've always liked short stories. Back in high school, I got into Poe and Mary Shelley and Stephen King, obviously. And it's probably a horrible thing to admit, but one of my friends was having a difficult time in his English class, and they had an assignment to write a horror story. So he asked me to write it for him, and I did, and he got an A. But now I can't use that story because it's
right.
Oh, interesting.
You're
a ghostwriter.
Yeah.
Then later on in life, I did this thing called e-fetting, which is basically fan fiction for wrestling fans.
Uh-huh.
We would make our own wrestlers and basically tell stories about them, either fictional or autobiographical, or, well, I guess it would be biographical or whatever, however, which way you wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I came up with several characters that I really enjoyed writing for during that time, but they were always basically short stories. They had a word limit, up to 5,000 words or up to 2,000 words or 1,000 words. So that's where I basically honed my craft of writing short stories. And about when I was 49, I'm 55 now, I just decided to hang that up and try and write professionally and try and get something written that I can give out to the public.
Okay.
I'd say you've succeeded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a lot of authors on, and I'm always fascinated by, what makes them tick, or because it is a discipline. I mean, it's a real, you got to be really dedicated. And I always wonder, because the way I wrote
I have no discipline.
The way I used to write was, I didn't know where I was going to go. I'm just writing. I don't know. But a lot of authors, they already know what the entire story that they're going to lay out and the meaning and everything. So everybody's different.
Yeah.
But
my method is a lot like yours. That the term I've heard used is a pantser. Basically, you're writing by the seat of your pants. And that's what I do. I discover the story as I write it, basically.
Yeah.
I've tried using outlines, and I just never... I can outline here, but I'm always going over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to really know. You have to know in advance what you're doing if you do the outline method.
Yeah.
Right.
For novelists, I think that works better, but I don't have the memory retention for detail to do novels well.
Yeah. I mean,
because you have to be, with a novel, you have to be consistent.
You got to plant seeds early in the story.
You have readers like me going nuts, saying, "Oh, there's an inconsistency. There's a typo. There's
right." Or this character said back on page 13 this, and now they're saying something entirely.
Characters can lie.
Right.
Yeah. Or stories where the characters, like you said, the character's name changes. And it's like, wait a minute.
This wasn't a name change. It was just
Right. But, I mean, I'm not sure the author intended for the character's name to change in the middle of the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we should say
I've actually done that. So, not intentionally, but I've actually done that.
Yeah. Well, you have a lot of work.
My Chrome wants to restart, so I might drop off for a second and be right back.
Okay.
It says like 5 minutes. It's going to do it by itself.
If you're interested in more of Dan's work, we will be asking him for his socials and where you can find it after, or should we do it now? Let's do it now.
Yeah. So you have your nom de plume, right? Isn't that how you say it? It's Dan Fierce, right?
Yep, Dan B. Fierce.
Yeah. No relation to Sasha, I guess.
No.
We
went to separate schools together. That's about it.
But you have I seem to recall you had more than one website. You had I've got www.fiercephantoms.com and www.danbfiercebooks.com. And do you do a blog or anything? Or do you...
I haven't been able to keep enough time available to be consistent with a blog.
Understood.
Got it. All right. So, I would encourage anyone who's listening to go out into those websites and sample some of Dan's work.
Sign up for his list.
So let's go ahead. We've kind of agreed to this up front. I think we agreed to it, although I didn't. Yeah. Do you want to do the Elite 8 mini bracket, Dan?
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like fun.
He seems sold. Yeah.
All right. So we hope so. But we chose the topic, or Lisa actually chose the topic of television anthology series, because as we talked before, Roadkill King kind of fit into a number of formats.
I feel like your short stories could easily be, they're almost written in a sense without like direction, interior, that kind of thing. But I definitely feel they could very easily be transposed into
teleplays,
like television or movie, like a short, like you could do an anthology movie, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So let's go ahead.
They read like scripts in a sense.
I think you're familiar with this process, Dan. It's kind of like Ginger versus Marianne.
Yeah.
So let's get started.
Do you want to read them or you want me to read them?
Okay. Where are we at?
Here we go. Round one. Matchup one.
Round one. It's a good one. Tales from the Crypt versus Twilight Zone.
That's a tough choice. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to go with Tales from the Crypt because I like a scarier horror typically.
Got it. Yeah.
Aaron?
I got to go with the classic Zone. Mm-hmm. But I've got a sub question for this. Rod Serling or the Crypt Keeper?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is weirder?
I got to go with the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Well, Serling's from Cincinnati.
Is he really?
I'm really conflicted there.
I know it.
Yeah.
Oh, surprise.
But yeah, I would throw one to Serling. But at least who would you go for Tales from the Crypt?
I'm going Twilight Zone. I felt there was more metaphysical fear, in Twilight Zone. Crypt Keeper was almost more jump scare.
Yeah.
And
so my preference is run more to kind of suspense thriller than actual horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I'm going to go Twilight Zone also. So that's...
Sorry,
Dan.
Sorry, Tales from the Crypt.
That's the way it works.
Okay. Next one. Alfred Hitchcock Presents versus Black Mirror.
Okay, I'm gonna go against what I said earlier, and I got to go with Alfred Hitchcock because I used to watch that with my family. So I have memories involved in that. But we always watched The Birds.
Come on late at night for
Psycho
us in black and white.
Yeah. So that's for you too, Aaron? Alfred Hitchcock?
Man, that's a tough one though. Because Black Mirror this day and age is kind of huge.
Yeah.
But I gotta go Alfred. I can't go against Alfred Hitchcock.
Okay.
One.
Well, I'm kind of like Dan. I recall Alfred Hitchcock because we'd stay up late at night. My parents would go out, and my sister would babysit me, and we'd order like pizza. And it was, there was only 4 channels, so all this old programming was still kind of topical.
Right. Mm-hmm. Definitely predates COVID.
But Black Mirror is awesome. It's not quite lived up to its first season.
No.
Yeah, I haven't kept up since the first season, to be honest. But the first season was epic.
Yeah, it was good.
Right. So I'm gonna go with Alfred.
I'm gonna throw one to Black Mirror because
I'm glad it got a vote.
Yeah, Alfred Hitchcock must have been opposite something my dad liked to watch, and they never went anywhere on Friday night, or Saturday night.
Okay.
Well, he was another cool host. I'd put him up there with Serling and the Crypt Keeper.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do comparative hosts one day.
Kind of a sketchy history with his leading ladies, but
I like
a horror master.
Oh yeah.
Tippy Hedren.
Alfred Hitchcock. So
he'd have definitely 3-1.
Yep, Hitchcock 3-1.
What's next, Lisa?
Outer Limits versus Night Gallery. And this is OG Outer Limits, not we didn't go with the newer versions of these in our heads.
That one's gonna be a guess for me because I honestly haven't watched either one. So I'm going to go with Outer Limits because I know it a little bit. I'm more familiar with it.
Okay.
Yeah, they're both like neck and neck for me.
Yeah.
They're like practically the same show to me. I woke up a couple years ago and the TV was playing and Night Gallery was on, and that was really trippy. Am I frozen? I'm frozen. No, I'm not.
No,
not your voice.
And I think I watched 3 or 4 or 5 of those in a row, and they were really cool. So I'm gonna go Night Gallery, just because I've seen it more recently than I've seen The Outer Limits.
Fun.
Well, I started watching Night Gallery a few years ago on MeTV, and it aired like at 1 a.m.
I think I woke up, I must have fallen asleep watching something on MeTV, and Night Gallery was on, and
Yep.
Yeah.
So I really liked it, and I started watching it over every night. Every night I could at 1 a.m.
Right,
but what I
right.
found was that there were not a lot of episodes. There was, I mean,
Right.
it was
Yeah.
the same episode.
I think I watched them all that one night.
Yeah, but it was pretty cool. It's also Rod Serling. Outer Limits, the OG. I'm going to edge out Night Gallery with Outer Limits.
Okay.
The OG version.
So where are we at? 2-1?
Yeah.
2-1 Outer Limits.
Huh. I'm going to have to go Outer Limits too.
Right.
Because I haven't seen Night Gallery. I don't know if maybe Night Gallery transitioned into Twilight Zone.
No, it came
But
later.
It was
super
campy, but it was just
I liked Outer Limits better than Night Gallery.
It kind of reminded me of an American version of Hammer Horror, Night Gallery.
Yeah. Okay.
The British series of films.
I don't know.
I'd have to look at that. But okay, so now we come to fourth matchup, Tales from the Dark Side versus American Horror Stories. So not American Horror Story, where that's like a whole season. These are episodic, short, half hour. Some of them go over into a whole hour, but they're still presented as like in 30 minutes increments.
I'll preface this by saying, to be fair, I have not watched American Horror Stories.
Okay.
But I will definitely go with Tales from the Dark Side, because I think Stephen King was involved with that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was it? No, he was. Was he Tales from the Crypt?
I don't think so.
I think it was Tales from the Dark Side.
I think Dark Side is right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, one way or the other,
Man.
I've seen Tales from the Dark Side. I don't remember it much, but I have seen it. But I haven't seen the other one, so that's
pretty much exactly everything that Dan just said applies to me. Tales from the Dark Side.
Yeah,
Tales from the Dark Side.
I've seen both, and I lean towards Tales from the Dark Side.
Yeah, that's going to be a sweep, because I think Tales from the Dark Side was pretty popular. I remember there were a lot of seasons of that, and
I don't know where my broom is. I have a little broom I keep next to the computer.
We'll imagine it.
So
here we go. We're at the final four.
Just
we got
imagine a broom.
5 minutes to go here. So,
okay.
Go ahead.
Twilight Zone versus Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
I'm going to go with Twilight Zone on that one.
This sounds like a finals matchup.
It does. That's pretty solid matchup.
Yeah, I got to go with the Zone.
Yeah.
Hun?
That is really tough. But I think if we were talking about film, cinema, I think Hitchcock is king there.
Sure.
But he's not going to get the TV over Twilight Zone.
Yeah, and I feel like his films are his stories, whereas Alfred Hitchcock Presents, some of them may be his stories, but I think a lot of them were not. He was just
presenting.
They were
anthologies.
Yeah. And I feel like the Twilight Zone definitely edges it out. I agree. So that's a sweep. Okay.
I think I prefer Alfred's intros to Rod Serling's, though. Alfred was always funny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. If we were comparing hosts, we might go a different way. But Outer Limits versus Tales from the Dark Side.
I'm going to stick with Tales from the Dark Side on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think ditto. Tales from the Dark Side.
Yeah, Tales from the Dark Side.
Okay. So another sweep. So now we're down to OG Zone versus the Dark Side.
Oh.
For the winner of the episode. Opinion based.
I'll give it to the Zone because they're classics.
Yeah.
They're the alpha and omega of TV horror anthologies.
Yeah.
The Zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I liked that the Zone lightened up on occasion. You know?
We're gonna make it sweet, please, because I'm going Zone
Yes.
too. Okay.
Yeah. I like the way it lightened up. Like some of your stories, I compare more to Twilight Zone versus some of the other anthology series because there was, you had horror ending, you had redemption ending,
All right. Well, so
personal
I need
growth.
a sound effect similar to our banger for the date winner, but I don't have one yet. So, but
there.
All right, Dan. So this has been a great hour. Really enjoyed it. I think you were planning to join us.
Thanks for sharing your work with us.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for reading it. That's and this especially is huge.
Great.
Well,
and as podcasters, if we can't read the book, we
podcasters. I like that. Perfect.
Okay.
We're podcasters.
Yeah,
we're not podcasters.
Yeah, I can't. I can't. I speak word good.
It has actually worked. That was funny. Podcasters.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
We didn't read the book. We're
autocorrect is my enema.
But I believe you're going to join us for our rotisserie cinema works of Wes Anderson. Are you going to join us for that?
I'm going to definitely try.
Okay, cool. That's the best. That's all we asked for.
Yeah.
Toss out your website one more time.
If you
Want to toss out his website one more time?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead and do that.
It's www.danbfiercebooks.com or www.fiercephantoms.com, and that's Phantom spelled Phantoms.
Nice. Okay.
All right.
If I may, real quick.
Absolutely.
I also just released Cabin 187, which is a collection of 13 longer short stories. It is also where the satellite part of Roadkill King came from.
Excellent.
It's in the same universe.
Excellent. All right, we're going to check those out. You have a great rest of your Sunday, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you all so much.
187 is in the police code for murder.
What's that?
187, is that like the police code for murder? Like
it is.
187 on an undercover